Today I'll tell you a little story about Swami Kriyananda. And this happened in India probably 2004 or 5, somewhere around in there. And we were renting a house down the street from the larger ashram. And Swami lived there with just a handful of his staff and my husband and myself. And his office was a wide, large, sunlit hallway that was between our room and his room. And so we were often in that space together. And one day, he was talking with me about something as he was seated at his desk writing his latest book. And I'm not quite sure, I'm not remembering which book it was, but it might have been the Material Success Through Yoga Principles book, I'm not sure. But at any rate, he was involved and working intensively on this book when suddenly one of the devotees from the ashram burst through the front door, came running into the house shouting, "Fire!" And I'll never forget Swami, who was looking at his computer screen, sort of looked up briefly and said, "Let me finish this paragraph." And he went back to typing. He finished his thought, and then we proceeded to see what all the commotion was about, and we eventually ended up moving him to a hotel with us and some of his staff while the house was repaired. The electrical system naturally had overloaded and created a fire. My husband can tell his part of the story. He was at the ashram at the time giving a class, so he had his own very funny story to tell about that. But I share this story with you because it gives you a glimpse into Swami's unshakable nature. He was very centered, very deeply centered in himself. And that is a quality all of us should aspire to create in ourselves. That depth of calmness and depth of centeredness that gives us a platform on which to rest our lives. The more that we can trust in God and live for Him, give the results of everything that we do to Him, the more solid that foundation becomes. And from that leads greater and greater happiness. So I encourage you to study the words and writings and music of Swami Kriyananda, all of his amazing, vast array of videos of his talks and different TV series. It's just an enormous body of work if you consider that one person was able to do all that for God and for his guru, Paramahansa Yogananda. It's quite amazing, and it's there for you. He did it for you. So explore what he has to say. It's just as relevant now as it was for me in 1975 when I came on this path. Human nature doesn't change that much generation to generation. And so take advantage of that. And from this little story, I hope you'll remember too how it is possible in the midst of crisis to remain centered, to remain calm, and to do what needs to be done. God bless you.